So someone on the board did request a wiring diagram, and I don't mind providing one. I guess no, I don't think I'm gonna. But I will explain what the different subsystems are. So of course you've got the AC down here. I've got a 24 volt transformer down there and a 12 volt transformer. That provides power even when the PC power supply is not running. There. The reason it does that is so that I can run the pump when the computer is off. Sorry, I'm tired. And the 24 volt power supply is because that's the only thing that runs the Tesla coil. So that's why I have those two things. So the basics are here. I've got the plus 5 volt rail, ground rail, and plus PC 12 volts down there. So that's the PC power supply, the PC supply rails there. The plus 12 and the plus 24 come from the transformer. So next up, this big cable here is actually a USB cable. It goes up to the motherboard, up through that connector there. And by the way, I have the whole thing tilted up on its side, which is how I work on it. I think I've shown it this way before. That's what I built these legs for here. I'm going to be removing them. Actually, what I really want to do is put in some railing-y type things there that look nicer and do the same job, because I have a feeling I have to be doing this. So I know what you're thinking. Why is there a switch in there? Well, that's because the Pi 0 here, which communicates via I squared C, yeah. No, not I squared C. SPI, single something interface, serial protocol, yeah, whatever, to the board, LED board here, which runs any LEDs which needs to control. That includes the RGB lights, lights that are on the power supply, lights that are all over the place. Has a USB connector to this hub here, which is wired to the router. The reason I have a router is because the other connection to the router goes down to the motherboard of the CPU right there. The third one routes here. So that's actually where I plug in the network cable. Network cable hangs out up there when I'm not using it. That way, when I'm somewhere that doesn't have Wi-Fi, which the Pi 0 has Wi-Fi, I can still communicate with it with a static IP interface. So that way the main CPU can communicate with the Wi-Fi, the Raspberry Pi when it needs to, because the Raspberry Pi controls all the interesting I/O on the board. Everything else you see here is this wiring that runs to the various lights that are on the board. Here's the light underneath the thermometer, which is over there. It's where I keep it because I can't have nice things when I have kids around. And that's a rather permanent installation I'm not ready to do yet. The RGB here is an RGB cable that runs up to the, I have a light underneath the reservoir right there. So there's also a set of lights that run on the PC power supply, and then there's lights all over the front. Here's the disk activity, and of course the annunciators, which there's a bunch of. I wonder if I can turn those on and show you. Alright, I'll turn them on from the back. I haven't attached the labels yet, that's next. So first thing we're going to do is plug it in. Now that's immediately going to light up. There, that's the master arm annunciator. That's because these two transformers are now live, because plus 12 is, 120 is coming in. I haven't covered that up yet like I'm planning to. I keep the 120 completely isolated over here and always very careful of it. Next I'm going to need the key, which I attached a big orange thing to so I can't lose it easily. There we are. And then I have a chain. I have to do this with one hand because I am my own cameraman. Even try to take a selfie, but I don't know how well that's going to work. And then we plug this in, making sure not to dangle this big metal chain anywhere that's too short-circuity. Right to there. Now, before I do this, I want to first show that the power, okay, here's the switch for the Tesla coil. If I turn that on, well, the annunciator should come on, which it does. That's the Tesla coil. The other one is a switch here that's not hooked up to anything yet. It's right here. And that should turn on. Should have turned something on. Oh, that runs off the 5 volt on the power supply. Not going to work yet. And then I think that's it for what things I can turn on for now. Oh yeah, there's this one that controls the CRT here, and that should turn on the green one. Yes, it does. Nice. That just turned this on, so I want to make sure I keep clear of that little wire there. You know? Okay. Next up, I think I'm going to power the thing on and show it from the front, so that'll be another video.